Hey guys, hope everyone's keeping well. Yeah, sorry I haven't really done an update. Like I think I said I was going to do one on Monday after the hospital visit, but yeah, just things we're just trying to get into like a rhythm, I guess. Trying to get more of a sort of structure to sort of each day because they were starting to blur into each other. And to be honest, it was only the hospital visits that kept us um like we only knew like what they were on because we were going to the hospital. So yeah, we're just sort of trying to work out probably based on Henry a bit more as well. As his sort of routine sort of changes, he's starting to drop some daytime naps, but then shortly after dinner he's wanting to go to bed, and it's kind of tough because like, we were always like, yeah, go off you go to bed, because most kids probably don't want to don't want to go to bed. But it's just frustrating because like he, after his dinner, then he gets his third NG feed, which runs for an hour, and then we sort of leave it a wee bit for that to settle, and then we do his meds. And okay, we don't mind doing the meds if he's lying down, but we don't like doing the feeds. So we're sort of struggling with that, trying, if he's dropping the naps, trying to keep him entertained until he has his feed and then he can go to bed. So we're just trying to suss that at the minute, but he's still not going down to his own cot. The bed did arrive, but we haven't really had much time to build it up, because for us to do that we're gonna have to reorganize his whole room. So that's gonna be fun. Wee bit of upheaval, but if he settles in it, it'll be massive payoff. So yeah, apart from that, this week we haven't really done much. I had a great chat with a great friend, Philip Allen, like you're a legend, if you're listening. Had a good chat and catch up with him on Tuesday. Just sort of chatting about this thing about what I was saying before, like who am I as well as Henry's mum, David's wife, designer, and just trying to work out in my head, and sort of find a way to sort of, not find a way because it wasn't really stuck, it was just trying to get time properly to sit down and chat to David about how I was feeling. So and yeah, just trying to work out some kind of structure a wee bit more, so that we know what to expect each day, because we do need our downtime through this, because it's quite mentally demanding, and we aren't getting like proper sleeps at the minute, so it gets quite exhausting. So yeah, no, it was really good chat, so no, I appreciated it. But yeah, like, apart from that, we've just been trying to work that out. Thinking, like, I hate saying it, but like thinking about Christmas. Now we don't have our tree up, so we're not that fast off the mark when it comes to Christmas, but just thinking about presents and stuff like that, just trying to get things organized. But yeah, like, apart from that, our week's sort of just been pottering about, sorting his meds, sorting his feeds. I've been doing a bit more writing, starting to maybe share a wee bit more that I've been writing. And yeah, I think I've picked a keyboard. Just haven't bought it yet. I think it's just that sort of, not a fear, but just you find it and you just need to commit to purchasing it, and then that feeling of when the money drains out of your account, it's not the nicest of feelings. So we'll see. I have picked one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah. So Henry went up on Monday, got his bloods taken. They've done his voriconazole level this time, and they took, I don't know if they've done it this Monday, the previous Monday. There's the test they do to check the engraftment, the donor cells, and how well it's doing. Because obviously when we left Bristol, it was 100%, which was amazing. And there hasn't been too much sort of chat about that, and I've just been keeping an eye on his bloods. But they took more blood and sent off that test. I think it just takes a bit longer to get that one to come back. And obviously I said before that his Ciclosporin, that really strong med he's on, they lowered it. It was at 0.2. They lowered it to 0.15 mil, and then they were happy on Monday, as we were as well, and they lowered it further to 0.1 morning and night for a week. So yeah, there's been no signs really. You know, it's fluid target we're not really hitting, but he's not too bad. And his skin's maybe a bit dry, but we're just putting cream on. But yeah, we're not seeing any signs of rash, sickness, or anything else. So everything's going really well. He was sick on Monday and Tuesday morning again, like similar to what he was doing previously. And because of the pattern, there's one of the meds he gets on Monday morning and night and Tuesday morning and night, and it's quite a thick sort of gloopy kind of one. And like there's so many meds that we're sort of like, I can't really remember what they're all for, but this one in particular is for, you know, anybody who's went under chemo, or through chemo, and it's just sort of to help with, I think David said it's like chest infections or pneumonia or something like that. It's to sort of prevent that. So he's on that for a couple of months. But it seems to be whenever he has that, whether or not it doesn't, when it's with another med, it doesn't mix well, or it's the amount of it, I'm not too sure. But we spoke to the specialist nurse and they're suggesting on Monday they're going to give us like a different sort of strength, I think, of it, and then see how he is with it. So hopefully he's not sick. Like it's only like a tiny amount and once in the morning, and then he's fine. Like he's not sick all day. So that's making us think it's that med. So because he hasn't had temperature spikes since that time he was in the hospital overnight. So I'm so thankful for that. But because his Ciclosporin was lowered, I was sort of not to be like negative, but just I don't like getting my hopes up too high, because like we are still very much in this season, like his treatment, you know, it's not over. He's doing well, but it's not over. So I'm just being cautious, but just understanding what the reality is and what could happen. So I had assumed, maybe completely wrongly, that because he was coming off like Ciclosporin, they say the graft versus host disease is something to look out for, graft versus leukemia, which he had in Bristol, and just sort of look out for that, because it's probably helping keep it at bay. And then I just assumed that once they're weaning him off this, his bloods may look a wee bit different. But actually on Monday, all his levels are kind of up, which is great. Like his hemoglobin was down to like 80 something, but it's at 99 again now, which is great. White blood cells are 3.9. Like it's crazy thinking of such a small number. For like before Bristol we were dealing with like big numbers. Like he was diagnosed and I think it was 90. So and then it sat around 40 for a long time. So it's funny to see like 3.9, but I think that's the highest it's been. His platelets are 159. Sorry, I've got all these written down because I can't remember numbers. And his neutrophils are 2.1, which is great. So yeah, he could surprise me. Pleasantly surprised. So really, really happy with that. So they've lowered the Ciclosporin a bit more, and we'll see what this week brings, and what happens on Monday. So yeah, no, he's doing really well. We also got another bit of good news, which was that test that they do for the engraftment. It came back, and the specialist nurse, I think she was going to maybe hold off till Monday to tell me, but she texted me and said it's come back at 100%. So like we are so happy, and so just so thankful, because especially with the Ciclosporin lowering and obviously the risks of graft versus host, you don't know how if his body's going to start creating his own cells again, and then they'll maybe fight against the donor cells. It's hard to know what could happen, but the fact that his is sitting at 100% still is amazing. I am totally overjoyed because, like, yeah, it's, you know, me and David started talking like, you know, what if it was 99, and we're just like, stop talking about what ifs. It's at 100, which is amazing. So I'm really hoping that the lower the Ciclosporin. I think next week they may do 0.1 mil once a day for a week, see what happens. But yeah, I'm really praying that this that his body doesn't fight these donor cells, because this donor's like this person's amazing. I wish I could hug them. But I think it's just everything's went really well. So yeah, we're delighted with that. And I'm so glad she didn't leave it till Monday, because like some days you're drifting along and you kind of need that lift. And the fact she texted Irish just like, oh yay. So very, very happy. So yeah, that sort of makes all the exhaustion and stuff like not matter. But yeah, no, everything's going to plan. We'll just take each day as it comes still. And yeah, things are looking good. I think once they stop the Ciclosporin, they may start weaning him on fluoroconazole, I think, which was the antifungal he was on. Like, he's been on that a lot longer, because he was on that in Belfast before Bristol, for 7 weeks. So might start doing that. There was talk of taking him off this one called ondansetron, I think it's called. It's like the anti-sickness, which makes me nervous, because it's like, oh, you know, but we'll see. I'm very much just trusting what they recommend, and obviously you want to see what Henry's body's doing without all these. But obviously this is a long, sort of slow process to get him off them. Like he's still on quite a lot. So yeah, we sort of staggering them in the mornings seems to be working still too. So we'll see when we get that new strength of that other one on Monday. We'll see how he does. But yeah, he's still running about. He's doing good. We've sort of noticed his hair, like he still has that sort of, maybe seen in the photos, like some fluff, which he had in Bristol. He didn't lose it all, but he had that in Bristol. We're starting to see, if you look really closely to his like scalp, that there's really like sort of darker hairs coming now. So I don't know if he's gonna start growing brown hair. Don't know. His eyebrows are quite brown. His eyelashes are amazing. People would pay big money for those eyelashes. But you just sort of see wee things sort of changing. But like I was looking back at, like whenever I was saying last update about reflecting, sort of looking back at photos of him before all this and before Bristol happened, and just, you know, we see him every day, but like when you start looking at photos from back then and comparing it to like what we see in him now, like you don't really realize back then that he didn't look well. We had no comparison really. But now, you know, he's looking so good. And yeah, I'm just, as I said, I'm so thankful. But yeah, no real updates. David's taking him out for a wee drive or maybe a walk. Don't know what the weather's meant to be like today, but just because he looked very, very tired earlier. I think I posted the photo, like he never looks that tired this early in the day, but he might go for a wee nap. Give me a wee bit of downtime. I'll probably just end up looking at keyboards. No, I'm gonna do some writing now. And no doubt tidy up the house a wee bit. So yeah, all good news. Everything's going really good. And yeah, I'm so thankful for all your messages still. There's this thing that you always hear, this sort of thing of like, oh, nobody likes to be forgotten, and I think that applies to everybody at the minute with COVID and isolation. And yeah, but I just the messages and support and prayers and just wee things that people are sending me, I'm so overwhelmed by it all still. And I know I've made some really, really great friendships out of all this. And yeah, just thank you so much. I hope these are all staying safe and well. Don't know what is happening COVID wise here. I know about England and stuff like that, but wouldn't be surprised if we're not far off the same restrictions. But I hope everybody's safe and well. kind of following the election stuff. I'm not usually really into politics and stuff, but I don't know how you can avoid all that. But just thinking about my friends in like America, praying for them, and I'm sure it's quite tough out there. It's hard to imagine what that kind of environment and atmosphere is like. But no, I hope you're all keeping your heads focused, and just I keep saying to people, as they have said to me, very much so, what we've been going through, like, this is all just temporary. We will get through it. Another reminder that I had the other night was the phrase, "This too shall pass," and it will. There's plenty of storms out there, but we all get through them. So yeah, I'll let you know what happens on Monday. If not, if there's anything happens between now and then, I'll keep you posted. But I keep saying but I'm gonna start doing like a wee counter in the corner of these videos for how many times I say that. And yeah, so I'll keep you posted on Monday. If there's anything else, if Ciclosporin's lowered, great. We'll see how Henry does. And yeah, I will really try and write a blog. I'm really enjoying just writing thoughts, just stuff like that at the minute. It is quite hard to still sit and do like a blog post, and I am still very much thinking about the book as well. Because I'm a designer, I think I'm thinking of how it'll look visually more than the content. But I'm going to start putting together all the content soon, and fill in the gaps, and just see where we're at with it. I don't know at what point it'll be the finish line, but we'll see how Henry goes, and I'll keep journaling in the meantime. And I will get a blog done at some point, but in the meantime, these video updates are kind of quick and helpful for me, and I hope they are for you too, and keep you updated on how things are going. But in the meantime, hope everybody has a good weekend. It is Friday, isn't it? Hope everybody has a good weekend, and I'll keep you posted on Monday with what's happening with Henry. But yeah, take care and keep safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, bye.